Hi guys. Um, we are so sorry to be beginning 24 minutes late. It's been one of the craziest days I've had. Let me go with this week. It's one of the craziest days I've had this week, but I am delighted to be here and that we are finally beginning. Thank you to each of you that has already joined us. I like the people that have already put in their questions in the comment section even before we began. You guys are the best. Please let us know where you're joining us from. Just you can say hi, your name and your country, or just say the country you're joining us from so that we can see the representation on this live. And also go ahead and invite a couple of your friends. If you want to share the link on your social media, you're welcome to do so. My name is Sarah Muindi. I am a Chevening scholar at Loughborough University. It's in the remote parts of England, and I am doing an MSc in business psychology. Today, I have an incredible guest with me, and I'm going to invite him to introduce himself, and then we'll be able to pick it up. Lindiwe, thank you. We can see your comments. Let us know where you're joining us from for the sake of Oliver. Lindiwe is from Malawi. Oliver, you are welcome. Please introduce yourself and tell us the course you're doing, and just a little bit about how you got to apply for Chevening.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for inviting me for this sensitization or we call it interview regarding Chevening application. Well, my name is Oliver Davis. I'm from Kenya. I'm a Chevening scholar pursuing an MSc degree in cybersecurity engineering at the University of Warwick, Coventry, United Kingdom. Well, Chevening is something I had a long time ago when I was still in pursuing my undergrad studies around 20 around 2015. I was still in campus, and I knew some of my friends who had really went through Chevening, and they inspired me. So later on, where after getting the enough experiences, when I embarked on the journey of applying for this prestigious scholarship. That's how my journey began. They inspired me. So there are there are people who are ahead of me who inspired me to pursue this particular scholarship. Oh, thank you, Sarah.
Wow. Thanks so much, Oliver. So before we dive in, did you apply? Was this your first time applying? Was it your sixth time applying?
Well, I'd apply before. I made some a couple of attempts. Then I failed, and then this the third one it came through.
Ooh, okay, okay. Wow, amazing. Thank you for being an encouragement, especially to people who might be feeling like I didn't get selected last time. Should I apply again? I think it's amazing that you're here and that you got selected even after applying for and getting in the third when you're making your third application. That's incredible. I did not know this. I keep saying that on these lives I keep getting to learn new things almost every time we have this conversation. Joy from Kenya, you are very welcome. Thanks for joining us. Um, Oliver, we are going to be picking it up in a few. I wanted us to do it a little bit differently as I pull up the questions on the Chevening application because I literally made a dummy application to be able to just get the user experience for the scholars and find out what the process is like for the application. Thank you to everyone that's joining us. We are delighted to have you. Let us know where you're joining us from, and we'll be able to just spotlight you and say you're welcome. So, Victor, thank you. And hi, back to you. Welcome to the live. Let's go to someone else. This is Fourth Realm Voice Media. Hi, I'm Miriam from Nigeria. Miriam, we're delighted to have you. Thank you for joining us. Let's go to someone else. Gilbert Kimani from Nairobi, Kenya. Welcome on board. Guys, let us know where you're joining us from. We're delighted to actually see you. I want to mention two more people. Doris Moasia from Kenya. Welcome, Doris. And last but not least, Usla from Zambia. We are delighted to have you, Usla. Keep engaging with us in the comments and just telling us where you're joining us from. And also, this is your opportunity to just drop your questions on the chat. This chat is purely designed for you. Ask every question you want to know about, and we will do our best to answer. So, Oliver, I'm going to do a quick question to you first. In a general sense, when we're answering the question about studying in the UK, what are some general things you should be having in mind? As I pull up the question and then I'll read it out, then we can break it down.
Okay, for question three about studying in the UK is uh it's about knowing really what you want to study, and I'll go by the prompt which requires you to you are expected to choose either one one or similar courses in three different universities, or three different courses three different courses within the same university. So it's up to you. But normally, most candidates have never heard of anybody using different courses within the same university. All people go for are similar courses in three different universities. So the first one, know what are the gaps in your field? What are the challenges that you need to go and fill? Um then after knowing that, do research and about this third question about studying in the UK. Do research. Get more details as much as you can about your university. Get as much details about your course, what you want to study. Go to specific modules which interest you. You should demonstrate that you've really done your research. You you know the course, and perhaps to some extent know the specific tutor, professor, lecturer in that particular field, and what are their research works, the research they've done. You can make some notes about that. Then you can talk about the university, its location, and I think that's it. The location, the unique activities apart from academics, why are you going to pursue that particular course in that particular university? And there's this general question, why UK? You also have to mention something that when you get to the UK, it's not all about studies. You need to network, you need to engage in different activities that gain some experience to be an all-rounded individual, an all-rounded leader in your sphere, in your sphere and domain of expertise. Yes, that's just a general observation, and I'll emphasize about this one. You have to do research, because the the UK government, through the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, want to know why do they want to invest in you. You need to demonstrate why is this course not in your home country, and you want to do it in the UK. So research. And that's all.
Okay. Everyone should research. Benga, we don't want to butcher your name. Benga from Nigeria, welcome. Andrew from Tanzania, you're welcome. Wanjiru from Chevening University of Reading, Karuga, you're welcome. She says, good job, keep inspiring next generation of Cheveners. I'm here cheering you on. And Peter says, hi, Peter Odhiambo. Just a minute, let me pull it up again. Hi, Peter Odhiambo from Kenya, aspiring to pursue food security. Thank you, Oliver, for sharing an overview. So research the module, research the course itself, the module, the lecturers, the location, and the UK. So people should do a lot of research. I'm going to read the question itself because I've been able to log into the application. So this is what the question says. Studying in the UK, this is question 3. Outline why you have selected your chosen 3 university courses and explain how this relates to your previous academic or professional experience and your plans for the future. Please enter new information and examples here and not duplicate the information you have entered on the work experience and education section of this form. Okay, Oliver, let's break this down for the audience. Guys, I'm seeing the numbers are increasing. If you're here and you have not told us where you're from, we want to see the representation of this live. So on the chat, just tell us, hi, I'm so and so from this country, or just say your the country you're from, so we can see representation. Oliver, I've read the question. Is it clear, or do I reread it and then you can break it down for the audience?
I'll just read it for those who are joining us. Then we pick it up from there.
Okay, all right. So the question is, outline why you have selected your chosen three university courses and explain how this relates to your previous academic or professional experience and your plans for the future. Please enter new information and examples here and not duplicate the information you have entered on the work experience and education section of this form. So that's the question.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Let's just pretty clear. Sometimes the it can be confusing. That's why I've put much emphasis on do not duplicate the information in the work experience with the study in the UK. So first and foremost, you identify the what you will need to study vis-a-vis your undergrad studies and your experience. Because sometimes when you might be shortlisted, then you might be shortlisted, God willing. Then when you get there, your undergrad degree is completely different. Maybe experience as well is different. Then when you get there, so for example, you have experience in food and nutrition and dietetics. Then when you get there, you want to do something in IT. You really need to demonstrate why you want to switch careers. So in most cases, what people go with, you just try to. It's good. It's good to switch careers, and you really have to demonstrate if you want to take that route. But on the other hand, if you did something in you did undergrad is pretty similar to what you have done, your experience or where you are currently working. You've done some certification or something just relevant to what you're working. You therefore can build on that by choosing a relevant course in relation to what you're currently doing, and this one will you'll have a good standing ground for you to progress and argue your case to the interview panel or at this stage the reading committee. So I'll just break it. So you choose your course, do a lot of research. Uh, you look at so many factors. There are those people who don't want to pay application fees. Some universities will waiver the application fees, especially if you are applying for the Chevening scholarship. Some won't waiver, while some universities will require you to sit for an English test. That's TOEFL or IELTS. So you must really know what you want. So just go and research on your universities. If you don't want to either pay application fee or sit for an English exam, choose your choose whichever suits you. So you can, if you want to pay, well and good. If you want to sit, pay application fee and sit for the exams, well and good. That's the route for you. So you also look at so many factors. You look at the university ranking based on your course. Is it best? Like for example, this year from Kenya, we have got a huge number of candidates or successful scholars in the University of Sussex. University of Sussex is ranked globally in terms of development studies. So that's why they opted for that, and they have good reason why they chose that particular university. So it's good to put in so factor in so many issues before you settle for a given course.
Okay.
I think
I
based on that, then
Go
there's
ahead. Go ahead.
oh, it's all right. So after choosing settling on your course, so similar course in three different universities. Then you go and research that particular university. You may look at specific modules. The courses might be similar, but the modules in the three universities are quite different. and you pick the course which interests you. Which one will you be able to support, or be able to fill the gaps back in your home country? Because when you're writing now about the course, you will be able to support. If you are doing this module XYZ, it will help me when I come back to my home country. It will help me solve problem ABC, and so forth. Then after identifying the course, you know, and the module, you mention something about the university. Other than academics, what else can you mention about the university? You mentioned something about the city or the geographical location of the university. That one will also help you. So the first, this in this order, you do the introduction, the gap in your field, the challenges that exist in your field. Then you give a general statement about the particular course and why the UK. Then maybe in the first paragraph, it depends with how you want to write. The first paragraph will explain about your first university and the course choice. Then you mention something a bit about the module which interests you, something about the lecturer if it's available. Not all are available in the website. Maybe you've interacted with the lecturer. That one will also earn you points. It will show the reader that you've really done your research very well. That's why Sarah and I are insisting on doing your research very well. Then you can break each course into three paragraphs. So maybe the first choice, this is the reason why I've chosen it. Second choice, third choice, so on and so forth. So for the first choice, you really need to explain comprehensively why. Then the second choice, you really don't have to uh, take a similar approach the way you tackle the first one. You can just, because you have limited words now, you mention all the most important thing. If it has something interesting, you can mention. Like if it's a university based in London, for the first choice, London has got so many things you can mention. So based on the location, you can mention something or something interesting about that university till you reach the your last choice. So that's the third choice. You just break them, but emphasis will be put on the first one, maybe the second one as you go, then the third one. Yeah, depending on your wordings. Then you will conclude maybe by saying that other than academics, you will also be involved in the chevening events. Uh, you'll be immersed in the UK culture. There are so many things to gain in the UK other than studies. So that's how to tackle that particular question.
Thank you, Oliver, also for explaining that you're picking three universities. Okay, it's our recommendation. I also have not seen anyone that has selected different courses in the same university because it's very conflicted. So, what's the career plan here?
It's tricky. It's really tricky.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah,
tricky. You'll be mixing up, as in it. You'll be mixing up yourself. Maybe the first one you want to do IT. The second one you want to do food science. The third one you want to do maybe something to do with criminology. It's mixing or music. So you really have to have a clear thought process and your ideas flow in a chronological manner. And the reason why you need to focus on a specific field is you're going to be an expert in that particular domain. After gaining this master's, you're going to have so much knowledge about that particular field than now just juggling between different courses, which will you might not even have a sufficient reason evidence to support your case or to argue to the reading committee.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you. So, consider picking the same course in different universities instead of the same university, different courses. It's very confusing even to the people that are reading to determine exactly what career path you want to focus on and how you're going to translate those skills to that specific field that you want to select. So that would be what I'd be reinforcing here. The other thing I'd be reinforcing is that you need to connect your open and your close to your past experience and your future experiences, because this question also asks, um, and explain how this relates to your previous academic or professional experience and your plans for the future. So there's the courses you're selecting. For the open, you can say, for example, I'll use my example. I am in the field of psychology, mental well-being. So my years of practice have been in counseling psychology. So that's what was in my open. In my capacity in counseling psychology, I have realized that I have gaps in being able to create solutions for employees. And so that's the reason that I'm pursuing this course in business psychology in these three universities. Then I went into the three universities based on ranking one, two, three. You rank your number one based on what you love most about that university. Then you rank, and then in conclusion, I said, with this knowledge that I will gain from any of these three universities, I will then be able to go back home and curate mental health solutions for employees, which is my area of, that's part of my career plan, and it falls into answering that second question. So essentially, what we are saying is do very thorough research. Research who are the lecturers, what are the differentiators, because if you're picking three unis and you're ranking them, there should be a reason. Number one is number one and number three is number three. Otherwise, you could have ranked them the other way around. So your first ranking should show very strong reason, just as Oliver said, for why it's the number one ranking. Then I'm going to pick a couple of the questions that I have seen that have been shared
So,
specifically.
Sarah,
Yeah,
just before you pick the question,
yeah.
you've mentioned something that well, the study in the UK also, you've mentioned something about your career aspirations, career plan.
Mm,
Well, these two questions are more or less interlinked
mm,
in form, because whatever you mention in the study in the UK, is it, you will find yourself mentioning somewhere in the career plan essay, just similar to the first and the second question, which is the leadership and the influencing skills, as well as the relationship building or the networking essay. So they are more or less interlinked, and you will find yourself writing, if in leadership, the same example you can write in the networking, but it's only now how you tweak to match or meet the different needs. As in the leadership meets leadership, then when you come to networking, it has to bring out that aspect of networking. Similar now to study in the UK, so you tie what you want to do. This when you mention a course, a module, this one will help you. How will it help you in the future after upon your return into your home country?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Elvis, thank you for joining us from Lusaka, Zambia. I literally have a friend who lives in Lusaka, Zambia. So that makes me very excited. I'm going to pick some of the questions. So Raphael is asking, hello, Sarah. I have chosen one course across the three different universities. I would like to know if this is the best approach. Rachel, I hope you've had our answer. If you have not had our answer, please type in the chat so that you can be able to respond, because we've already answered that question just a few seconds ago. If you have already had, just type yes, I already got the response. Thank you. If not, we'll come back and just repeat. How do I explain my academic experience without mentioning what is in the education section? UC is asking.
Okay. How do you explain my academic experience without mentioning what is in the education section?
Yeah.
Oh well, education section, you only mention your the degree you pursued, you hold. But now this one, now it's in prose. You have to explain you have got this degree. You have this degree. There are maybe specific modules which are relevant to the master's program you want to pursue. This one is allowed. What they're trying to discourage you from doing is copy pasting whatever you put in the education section, or what they have said is in the career experience, work experience, being duplicated this other side. But education, you can just mention the degree you pursued, maybe some specific modules which are relevant to the master's program you want to pursue. I
Yeah.
hope that one is answered.
Yes, it
Maybe
is.
you
I would
can give
add,
your
yeah, I would add that for this question, you can, if it's a module, for example, that you have done in your undergraduate and it's still offered in masters, you need to show the differentiator. That, for example, I did pursue this course in undergraduate, but only did an introduction. And so I want to pursue it at a master's course because in this uni, it's offered as a module where I will then be able to gain in-depth knowledge into this specific module. So that's how you link it. That's how you link the two. Thank you. If we have answered your question, you see, you come to the comments and you say thanks, or you give us a thumbs up so that we know that we have clarified this well for you. Then Miriam is asking, let me just show her question and then we can go through it. So, and if I do and I am given admission one, I did not input, okay, I think this was a follow-up question of a follow-up question if I didn't get it wrong. Guys, if you have any questions, please type them in the chat. Don't come and just follow in silence. Also, let us know where you're joining us from. So I'll read the question before that Miriam had shared. She said, I'm currently applying to 3 universities. However, one has 2 different courses that I am applying for. If I have to apply on the Chevening scholarship, do I pick just 3 courses? And if I do, I think the character has finished. And if I do and I am given admission on one, I did not input on the scholarship form, what happens? Okay, Miriam, I want to presume we have gotten your question right. But if we have not gotten your question right, just come back to the chat and say, this is actually what I meant, and we'll be able to respond a bit better. So I'm going to reshare the first question, then you can have a look at it, Oliver, and give your input. So Miriam is currently applying to 3 units, but one has 2 different courses that she's applying for. And if she has to apply on the Chevening scholarship, does she pick just 3 courses? And if she does and is given admission on one that she did not put on the scholarship form, what happens?
Okay, let me just. I'm currently applying to 3 universities. However,
Yeah.
one has 2 different courses that I'm applying for. If I have to apply for the Chevening scholarship, do I just pick the 3 courses? It's quite a tricky question. So you pick. Okay, there are 3 courses in those universities. Even in my courses, the courses I picked. Uh, for example, in my scenario, they are offering 2 similar courses in the same university. So you have to choose. So I had to choose one.
Okay.
The other, just slightly, the naming and the what is just the same. Slightly now, the other one is management, while the other one is engineering. So you have to pick one when now writing the essay, and you'll only apply based on the university. Now you can apply for both the courses, but you have to make sure that you have 3 different courses, 3 different universities. So if at all you are applying to the same university, different courses, more than one program, that one, if successful, you go to the interview stage, you'll be asked. Now you have to make a decision. Do you have any changes you need to make? That's if you have progressed to the interview stage, you'll be asked to make a decision then. So if you have applied those more than one course in one university, then you'll have to decide which one do you have an offer, which one now do you prefer. Then you'll share the same with the interview panel. Then maybe they'll consider your option.
Okay.
I think that's how I think it should be answered. Maybe you have a different opinion.
No, I actually agree with you. Miriam, I would recommend if you're applying to one university and it has two courses, pick one, because you're going to submit two applications to the same university, potentially to different departments, to make considerations and give you an offer or not. And especially when you're creating an account to apply for a course, are you going to use two different emails to apply for the two different courses? So technically, my recommendation would be pick one of the courses and then pick a different university where you feel like the modules align with the same in this other university, and then do the differentiator in the application essays. And what Oliver had said is, when you have the actual interview, if you are shortlisted and you get to the interview stage, then you can be able to say you have an offer, but from a uni that is not one of the three that you applied with, and make a case for yourself. And it has to be a very strong case for why then you still get or still feel like you should get the scholarship. So that is the question by Miriam. Miriam, if it's unclear, please come to the comments and let us know so that you can be able to respond. Guys, for those who are joining us, I will clarify that we are taking a little bit of a different structure so that this is as engaging as possible and as value adding as possible for everyone that is on the live. And we are just saying, if you are here and you have questions about your essays, just put them in the comment section, because we are literally reading question by question to be able to assist you. Okay, I'm going to pick the first couple of questions that had been shared, and then we'll go and answer the career question. So let me share the next question that was shared by Peter Oluoch. He said, if I get an offer from the university not listed among the three in my essays, can I still be allowed to use the unconditional offer? What is the answer, Oliver?
I think I've just given the answer. So if you're progressed to the interview stage, you'll be asked, do you need to make any changes to your university choices? That's the perfect opportunity now to slot in now your that particular option that wasn't in the three option that you had put in your essay, and they'll allow you to now slot it in just for security purposes. Security now securing your scholarship.
Okay. I'd say at that moment, make sure you're well prepared for that question, because they'll ask you, so what are the reasons? Of course, first must be that you did not get the unconditional offer from the other universities. And what is the reason that this is the one? This is the one you must go and study in, and it must be a very solid reason. Then we go to the next question. This was by UC. He asked, how should I tackle the fourth question? We are getting there. I don't have any promised jobs when I return to Zambia. We are getting there, UC. Just give us a minute. So I'll restart your question and then we'll come back and answer it. So thank you guys for all of you that have engaged with us. Yes, Raphael says the question has been answered. You're very welcome. Lindiwe says, guys, remember to like and subscribe. Lindiwe, thank you so much. You're almost tempting me. Almost tempting me, but I refuse to be tempted. Okay, so we'll go and answer the next question, Oliver. It's the question on the studying in the UK we have answered. We move to the question on the career plan. So the career plan question says, Chevening is looking for individuals who have a clear post-study career plan. Please outline your immediate plans upon returning home and your longer-term career goals. You may wish to consider how this relates to what the UK government is doing in your country. So that's the career question. What would be your input on it?
To me,
Yes. So we're answering the career question on Chevening is looking for individuals who have a clear post-study career plan. Please outline your immediate plans upon returning home and your longer-term career plans. Of course, you may wish to consider how this relates to what the UK government is doing in your country.
oh well, thank you, Sarah. So this is the last question, and it's normally, I think, to me, some normally the easiest, because it's the easiest in the sense that you are giving them your plan. They don't have your plan. you're giving them your plan, and there's a there's a valid reason why they put it there, and the main reason is why should they invest in you? They need to get the value, the value for the money they have invested in you, in coming to bring about a paradigm shift back in your home country. What change as a leader do you want to implement in your country? So the first one, why should the UK invest in you? Just have that one in mind. Then, when answering this question, uh, you should apply the SMART technique. That's be specific as much as you can. Your plans should be measurable. Your plans should be achievable. Your plan should be realistic. And last but not least, your plans should be time bound. So when addressing this question, just introduction, maybe you can just give an highlight or summarize in your introduction. When once you've finished your degree, what are your general, just what changes do you want to bring, like which sector do you want to work in, or just overall view in your field, the changes, the degree, the master's degree, the skills you've acquired, the knowledge, the expertise you've acquired will help you navigate or solve some of the challenges in your field. Then on the second paragraph is now you have to highlight. So first you have to mention, it's Chevening as one of the conditions is mandatory. It's not just a condition; it's a mandatory condition that you have to return to your home country upon the completion of your degree. Now to bring these changes and development. So now after highlighting, you'll return to your country. Maybe you have in mind the sectors you want to work in. You can just highlight them in just in a nutshell. Then on the first paragraph, you can mention your short-term goals. Your short-term goals are just your immediate plans. Do you really want to resume where working? Do you want to work with the organization X, Y, Z? You'll do this and this. Maybe you can still tie maybe a course you did will help you solve this challenge. Then you need to so that short term you need to be very use the SMART technique in highlighting your short term goal. Then you move to your midterm goal. Midterm goal, maybe you can maybe give like 5 years time. In 5 years time after your short term, you want to succeed. Maybe you want to venture into consultancy. You want to start your own business. You want to work for organization ABC, and so on and so on. But you have to be very specific. You want to work with the organization. You have to give reasons. You have to give a sufficient reason why you want to work for that particular organization, and then you show your ambition. You show ambition, what plans you have. Then after that, after expounding on your midterm goals, whatever you want to do, everybody have got their own ambitions or career aspirations, or what we call career plan in this particular essay. Then you move to your long-term goals. So long-term goals, you should now be your plans should be grandiose. They should be so big that they should be big but realistic. You can't say you want to be the president if you're not even you have never been elected in any position. That's what we call being realistic. But you can say maybe after midterm you aspire to be a member of parliament, you aspire to be the country director of this particular organization. Then in the long term you aspire to be a regional director. Maybe if you're from East Africa, you now want to be regional director, maybe East Africa and South Africa or West Africa, something of the sort. That one can form the long term. So you really have to follow the SMART technique, because you cannot jump. Maybe you have never even been class prefect and here you want to be the president. How? It has to flow, as in you move from one position to the other gradually, one step. It's the journey of 1,000 miles, one step at a time. So the long term, it really has to be something ambitious. Maybe you want to be the minister or cabinet secretary for health later on. but it has to flow. You from moving from the short-term goal to the midterm. So from the midterm will inform or will propel you, will inform whatever you'll become later on. But it has to be realistic. Then when writing the goals, the short, midterm, and long term, try and link them to what the UK priority areas are in your home country, as Sarah mentioned when the essay prompt. So there are so many things UK is doing in your home country, and in the likeliest scenario, there's nothing they are doing in that particular field. Maybe just tie them with the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. There are so many. So that one will also be Commonwealth. Commonwealth are advocate for the Sustainable Development Goal. There's SDG goals. So may tie them as well. Yeah. Then you after linking in your home country and Kenya, maybe SDGs and all that. Then you can conclude on whatever after. Despite that, you'll continue working with the UK in maybe trade. You'll continue building the bilateral ties. Yeah. So you can see here also there's some linkage between here maybe whatever you will be doing maybe in networking, but more or less. But now here is now you're giving an overall summary of your career plan. You'll still be working with the United Kingdom even after you've completed your degree, your country, and whatever you are doing is aligned towards the UK government in your country. And I think you'll be good to go.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Oliver, for sharing your insight. I think what I'll do is give an example. So for the last question, the career question, what I shared as my short-term goals was to go back home and train my team on the knowledge that I will have gained from the masters, and then together we will develop solutions for employee wellness. So that was it's literally actually my short-term goal. Then my midterm goal was to move from the organization internally, externally to the community and organize workshops and trainings for community members to increase sensitization and awareness around well-being at the workplace. Then my last goal was so ambitious, Oliver. I said I want to go to the African Union and inform policy around investment in mental health within the African continent. And it's a big dream for me. The reason I put it there is because the United Kingdom has a program called Grant Challenges Canada, where they invest money in mental health activities all over the world, and Kenya has been one of the recipients of that challenge. So you can do your homework, use what Oliver has shared and my example, put it together, and structure a good application. What I want to see, if there's something I would need to add around
Let me
the career plan, is only to reiterate that dream big. This is the one essay nobody can say, oh, you can't do, or you can't. Nobody can say any of that. So dream big and then put it there. The other tip, this is a pro tip, guys. The United Kingdom runs this scholarship, the Chevening Scholarship, because it's a soft diplomacy engagement between Kenya, other countries across the world, and the United Kingdom. So they care about people who care about building a relationship in for the long term. So it's not just you're coming, you do your masters, and then you come back to Kenya, you stay a little, and then you go back to the UK and immigrate. No, that's actually one of the reasons it's so important that you come back to your home country and that you implement change in your home country, because you need to think about this for the longer term vision that it is. Thank you, Daniela from Colombia. So I'm going to go back to the questions, and then I'll start from the top and then we can come down reading the questions that you had not read. And if you are here and we don't know where you're from, please use the chat and tell us where you're joining us from. So
and also Sarah, before you proceed,
yeah,
let me just interject. Also, it's whatever you've said is building relationship or with between your home country and the UK is building bilateral ties. It might be in trade, policy, diplomacy, etc., etc.
Yes, exactly. Put it in your application. That's why these are tips. So you see asked, how should I tackle the fourth question? I don't have any promised jobs when I return to Zambia. Though I do have long-term plans, how can I describe my short-term plans? Uh, I think my example may have helped you. I literally am not employed. So my short-term plans involve the organization that I was working for before I left home. However, if my example has not helped, Oliver, do you think there's something you could add to how does he answer the short term, but for the long term he is clear?
Okay, what you can just say, you maybe when you come back, you'll volunteer in the community based programs or community CBOs, community based organization, to work with them, something related to whatever you've studied in the UK, and that one will be a launch pad or a stepping stone to your maybe midterm goal.
Okay. All right. And he actually went ahead to ask what you have just said. And then he asked, is that enough? What I would add is you need to say or show that you will leverage on the relationships you will have built with Chevening scholars and master's students from your university to do collaborations around, even if it's virtual, digital, or physical collaborations around the specific area. So for you, you see it's public health. So around public health, you might decide you as an individual will organize a virtual public awareness um, workshop and collaborate with other scholars to be able to do this together. So that might be something you can consider. I will also add a pro tip here. If you're going to mention working with organizations when you come back, mention specific organizations. Say, when I come back, I plan to collaborate and work with this organization that does this in public health, so that it's very, very clear and it's
Be
not
specific,
it's specific. It's not like it's not general. It's not a general answer.
specific and realistic.
Yes, very specific and very realistic. So let's see if there's anyone that you had not seen, and if there's any questions you have not answered. So there's a question here, which I promised you would answer in this live. The question is, while writing a personal statement, because this personal statement is not in the Chevening application, it's in the university's application. That this I specifically committed. Miriam, thank you for following our lives and jumping here and saying she said you will answer, I will answer. So while writing a personal statement for a specific university application, you have to talk about the school and Chevening scholarship. Oliver, you can go ahead.
Well, while writing a personal statement for a specific university application, do you have to talk about the school and Chevening scholarship? Not really. These are two independent, because you are applying for a course in one on one hand, while on the other hand you are applying for funding. And Chevening wants to know, if they're funding you, are you able to apply for that course? Are you qualified? So that's why they are very independent. So you apply for a course if you are qualified, because they can fund you. The funding can be available, but you want to get a unconditional offer. Sometimes people lose this scholarship because they are unable to secure unconditional offer from the university of their choices. So it's important. So when writing a personal statement, and this normally this is how I did mine. So for a personal statement, just build, especially whatever you just go and research. You can pick something from career plan and study in the UK. So study in the UK, that particular, go and research about that particular. You will pick something from the study in the UK in the prompt, the challenges you face in your particular area, the gaps that are there. Then using that, you mention something in that particular, the course you have applied to in that particular university. Just mention the course. How will it address the challenges you've raised, maybe in the introduction or the first part? And how will this course now help you after addressing? How will it help you to in your career? So you can make something. You can just make something they study in the UK based on the problem statement, because you're going to study based on the problem above. If that problem didn't exist, it will be the program will be of no use to pursue that particular. You are trying to solve a problem by giving a solution. So this particular module in this particular university will help you address the challenge. And after addressing the challenge, you need to have a career plan thereafter. The university also want to know, after getting this knowledge, where are you going to, or what are you going to do with this knowledge? Yeah. So you have to try. So for me, I pick something from career plan and something from the study in the UK, and maybe you'll just have one page and you have your SOP, statement of purpose, or how is it called, personal statement. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my approach. Maybe Sarah, you can share yours.
I will say what I did. My university, thank the Lord. This is the reason it is the best university. Guys, if you're applying for the Chevening scholarship, come to Loughborough University. They've not paid me, but come. So what I did was I went to my university's website, and there was a literal video on how to write a personal statement. So what I did was I just sat down with a pen and paper, and I would pause, write, play, pause, write. So that's what I did. Most unis actually have the resource on how they want you to write the personal statement for their university. If they don't, please follow what Oliver has already mentioned. That should be fast. And then now you can go to the unit's resource and add up if you need to beef up some skills. And then you can use YouTube to just do a quick research, a quick search on personal statements for this specific university. You might stumble upon a video. The other thing I will say is that the personal statement, please don't put things like you're married, you have two kids. It's not personal information about you. It's like your philosophy about education, your passion for higher learning, your passion for the problem solving, for the issues that are leading you to pursue this course in this specific university. So don't say about the way you have how many children and the way this course will change your life and change their lives, because once you come back, you'll get a high paying job. That's not a personal statement. So personal statement is professional, and you only talk about the uni, the course, and how it's going to benefit you.
It's basically like a cover letter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in other, whatever Sarah said, you can also approach it in this way. You mention, okay, there's a, maybe you want to pursue this course for this specific reasons. Then you mention whatever you have done in your undergrad, your experience. Maybe there is a gap. That's the reason you want to upscale or bridge the skill gap by pursuing that particular degree. Then what do you have in mind after getting that particular knowledge, expertise from that program you're applying to? Yeah.
Yeah.
This one shouldn't be a big problem. I normally tell myself that once I've written the essay, now the statement of purpose or personal statement will be just a walkover. Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be fairly easy to do. I will also say that read it through and just see that it reads well. So you might be writing a lot of English and saying nothing or saying minimal things. Read it through and see that it reads well, that it's clear, every step, every line makes sense. Normally, the personal statement is only 1 page long. It shouldn't be longer than 1 page. Nobody is going to read more than 1 page for a personal statement, and keep it only professional. Don't say things that are not related to your profession, and talk about also some of the skills, the things you've learned, and the gaps you feel like, okay, if I got this course and once I do this course, I'm going to fill this gap, which will then allow me to have this kind of impact. So we go to another question. Miriam, if we have answered it well and it's clear, come to the chat and say thank you. I've got it well answered. If there's something that is not clear, come back and just tell us, clarify this. So we go to Daniela. Oliver, you can take Daniela's question.
Hi, Daniela from Colombia. Thanks for your help, for all your help. There's a question in the form that asks if you're thinking about applying to another scholarship. Say yes or not may affect. I think this one, for me, I just apply. I said no. So, but it has got no effect on your application. It won't affect your application. Insignificant. So you can either just say no, or yes, it's just insignificant. Yeah. Sarah, what about you? What do
I
you think
said
about it?
no. Actually, I said
Yeah.
no because it was such a reality for me. I did not apply anywhere else. This was
Yeah.
already too
So
emotionally intense. Yeah.
to be on the safe side, maybe you just say no. It will show them that you don't have any other option. Maybe you only know you only know of Chevening because of the publicity and the marketing they have done about the scholarship. All this, for it being prestigious, now it's the most famous,
Yeah.
the most popular scholarship.
Yeah. Because it's prestigious and because of all those things of why chevening, it will give you the opportunity and then you sell and you sell. Okay. So let's go to the next comment. Elvis has said, "Thank you so much for these essay tips. The guidance will significantly improve my essays. I decided to revise them thoroughly to make them powerful. Good job. If you prefer, this video is going to remain on this channel for, I believe, forever, unless YouTube pull down my YouTube channel. Have thrown those words in the sea. Um, However, if you prefer, come back, just pause and then read, listen again, and come back to your essay and say, is there anything I'm missing? This can be a very, very good place for you to be able to just run through your essay and the tips we are sharing and see, did I forget something? Pause this video, play it again, again and again until you're confident. Now I think I've written the most competitive essay I could. So that is what I would be recommending because it's a resource for you. That's why we are doing it. Beverly Malova says, joining from Kakamega, Kenya. Thank you, Beverly. Miriam is saying, thank you. All answers are top notch, aren't they? Aren't they? Thank you. So Leah is asking, you can take the question. You can take the question, Oliver.
Okay, thank you, Leah Ogetange. Hello. What should you lead to someone not getting unconditional offer? So, Leah, there are so many factors that may lead somebody not getting an conditional offer. One of them, maybe after writing your essay, you went and slumbered, you didn't apply on time, and most 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 universities, so long as you have got the minimum requirements, you'll get the offer even if it's conditional. Now they'll tell you what you need to submit for them to give you the unconditional offer. And there's so many factors there. So one of them, maybe you haven't met the English requirement. Two, what's the other one? Mostly it's due to the English requirement. Or yeah, you haven't met the English requirement, and they haven't waived it. Maybe you have gone and even sat the exam and you failed. If you fail, they will also not give you the unconditional offer. So the best tip for getting a unconditional offer: apply early, then look at the university, apply early, then just do your research before submitting your Chevening application. Just research on the universities and make sure that you stand a better chance of getting an unconditional offer. So if you do early, the better. If you do late, maybe you start by applying. Maybe you're waiting for the results for you to be shortlisted for the interview. Hey, when you start there, some people do start, yes, and they succeed, but based on what they submitted during the application, they apply based on whatever options they submit in the application. Then they pursue, but thereafter it will be a bit tricky. It doesn't work for people, or it doesn't work for everyone. Maybe you can apply. You'll apply when now there's so many applications, but mostly it's rare to find somebody not getting an unconditional offer because the application window it's normally stretched maybe around June or thereafter. But if you apply late after that, now they getting an unconditional offer is very easy. From April, there it's normally very tricky, especially if it's a university that is receiving so many applications. So that time they're just most people are now working with the unconditional offer. So in my case, I applied. In my case, this is the reality. So for my preferred choice, I applied quite early, just after submitting my application for Chevening. Then I applied. Then after 3 days, they responded with conditional offer. Then giving me the conditional offer that giving me the reasons, for, the condition for me to meet to get the unconditional offer, which I just delayed. I waited for the results, which came. Then I started working on them. Then the other one I started working much later. The other application I started working on later, and it's quite risky. This is the reason. Maybe you might be sure that you're very certain that you'll get that unconditional offer. But to be on the safe side, just apply after submitting your application. Just apply early. So look at the factor. Do you want to pay the pay the application fee? Do you want to do the English test? So if you see this one as a Apple task, or this they might compromise or mess you up, just go with the easiest option and you'll be safe. So I know so many people say that they can't pay, they won't pay, then they won't even sit for that English exam. So there's so many universities which don't have those conditions. So that one, you'll really get an conditional offer very easy.
I
It
will
depends with
add
what
that
you
for
want.
me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I started out, I'm done. It depends with what you want.
Okay. So for me, I applied for the three unis. My top choice never responded. They responded later to tell me, "Are you still interested?" And they never responded to my application. I also did not respond. I'm telling you, it was software on email. My second uni was is where I am at now at Loughborough. They gave me a conditional offer, and the condition was that I was to get CAS, the cash deposit confirmation of acceptance of studies, which was £2,000, and the English exam. So for CAS, I actually told them, I literally sent an email to the admissions team and told them, I have I have applied for Chevening scholarship. If I get this scholarship, then Chevening is going to pay this money that you want me to pay. Then for the English exam, I messaged them and I told them, I've worked in English, I speak in English, I've been working in English for the past all of my career. Can they accept a letter from my employer saying that I write and speak and read and listen to English? And they said yes, they can accept a letter. So I wrote a letter to my I wrote I delivered a letter to the university that was an official letter, and then they gave me an unconditional offer. So my tip for the universities is don't feel like you have to, it's a must, but some refused. My third choice, Heriot Watt, said, no English exam results, no offer. And me, I said, no problem. Loughborough already gave me an offer. I'm going to Leicester to study my course. So you can negotiate, email. If you work in an international organization or a government organization, some universities have that option. They will accept a letter from there if you don't want to do the English exam. If you care about the specific uni and the only condition is your English exam, look for the money, pay for the IELTS exam, and give them the results. Remember, you have to study for that English exam. That English exam is not like the normal English exam for where you have schooled. You study, you practice the typing skills, the listening skills, because it's not a joke. And there's a lot of content online on how to actually do that so that you're most prepared. So I want to shout out to Boaz, who is joining us from Kenya. Eileen, hi, right back to you. There's someone else here. Who is this? Philomena joining us from Mombasa, Kenya. We are delighted to have you. And we will be going to what I believe is our last question. Oh, there are a couple more. All right. So Eileen is saying, I'm a little confused. Can I apply with just my degree transcript while my degree certificate is in process? I'm confused because some people say that yes, and the website says degree or transcripts. You can apply, Eileen. Go ahead and make your application. I literally went and confirmed this because of my dummy account. By 24th, I believe it's January. Yeah, 20th or 24th of January. I can actually just confirm right now. Let me log in and let you
Not
know
February.
the exact date. Go ahead, Oliver.
Not February.
Yes,
Normally,
February.
around that time, results are out. It
Yeah,
was the end of February, around there, mid to end of February.
yes,
The last week, actually, the last week of February is when you should have uploaded your degree transcript and is it passport?
yes. Please upload your certificates and transcripts for each course of study by the 20th. It's actually 20th Feb.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Things are.
Eileen, go apply. Nobody should threaten you and say, oh, don't. The website says this information is actually on the portal. You just need to move to the upload documents and see the timeline for every document that you need to upload because there's a timeline for all of them, including the unconditional offer. And I hope that we have assisted you. Eileen, if we have, come back to the chat and tell us, thank you, that was a great answer. David is saying, thanks, Oliver and Sarah, for sharing these tips. You're very welcome, David. Eileen says, do you know if documents need an apostille? What is an apostille, Mr. Learned Friend?
I think maybe is it should be is that he or she or was referring to maybe the certified. You know the like in Kenya, there's some scholarship when you're applying, your documents need to be certified by this commission of or something, or
Yeah,
by the Ministry of Education. I think that's what they're referring. The seal, there's some seal. That's me. Yeah. No,
not
no.
really,
Yeah.
no.
You can just elaborate, Helene. Please elaborate.
I've done a quick Google search because we like to be prepared. It's an official certificate from a government that makes a document from one country acceptable in another, or the system of using such certificates. No, they don't need to be like certified to be legitimate for the application. However, just do a bit of research because we are speaking from our background from Kenya. So for us, we did not need this, but I'm not sure if there might be a special expectation for your country. So you can just do a quick Google search. If there's no information about it, go ahead and apply. And I will say this at this point, guys, don't be the one that is ruling yourself out. You make your application. Let Chevening tell you we can't accept this, or you make your application. Don't be the one that's saying, oh, will they accept if I do? Will they accept if I don't? Apply. Give yourself,
Don't limit yourself.
yes,
Don't limit yourself. Mm.
don't. Give yourself the chance.
Yeah. Also based on Eileen's yeah, he said he's from Nicaragua.
Yes.
So maybe it's the translation. The document needs to be in English.
Yeah.
If maybe that's what you just said. So make sure it's English. You're applying to an English scholarship, an English country. Yeah.
Yes. It has to be
So make the
transcribed to English.
document transcribed to English.
Yeah. Okay, Leah, thank you. Thank you, Leah. You said we are very resourceful. We appreciate. Thank you for seeing and appreciating us. Lindiwe did a quick search and told us the apostille is an authorized letter.
Notarized letter.
Yeah,
They were
thank you,
saying
Lindiwe. Hey, you've been very resourceful in this live. You're another one that is tempting me. I hope you have already submitted your application. All right. Yes, you're very welcome, Eileen. Go ahead, make your application. Nobody should threaten you, and don't count yourself out. So we've answered all the questions. I believe there are no other questions so far. We've run through all of them in the comment section. If you have just joined us, please let us know where you have joined us from. If you have answered your question, come back here and tell us, thanks, guys. That was very clear for me. If anything was unclear, also let us know in the chat so that you can be able to engage. Now we are going to wrap this conversation up. I believe we have answered the two questions, and I wanted, Oliver, for you to share some general or top tips that you feel like the guys that are on this live need to know, or the ones that will come and watch it. They're like, this is a top tip. You should know this and potentially do it.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. My top tips are there's no ideal leader for Chevening. Anybody's a leader, provided you demonstrate your leadership abilities. You can't be a sweeper and you are good at what you do. Just demonstrate how you lead through sweeping. You can't be a dancer. You really don't have to hold a position, a managerial position for you to qualify as a leader. So there's no ideal leader for Chevening. Everybody is a leader in their own right, provided you can demonstrate. Second tip is research, especially for the study in the UK. You have to do your research. Then the third one is just be confident. Don't limit yourself, as I've said. Believe in yourself. You are representing yourself, maybe your own country. So there are some countries where they pick maybe 2 people, 4 people. That's comfortable. While other countries they pick tens of candidates. So just believe in yourself. Put your best foot forward. Um, Consult. Do a lot of consultation. Reach out to trainers to review your essays and all that for to been part of the mistakes that might be. Yeah. Then always use the STAR approach, especially for the first one and the second one, the leadership and the networking essay. It will really help you. So then for I think those are my general tips. Thank you, Sarah, and thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you, Oliver, for sharing your top tips. I love them. I absolutely love them. For me, what I would say is go back and watch our first video on the essay 1 and 2. It's live, it's on the list of live videos. Go back and watch it so that you're not making mistakes that could have been avoided by having watched that video. My second tip is, oh, before I go to my second tip, in that video we have answered what is a star approach, and we shall not repeat it here. Then my second tip is start on time. We've already begun. Apply on time. So when I say apply on time, I mean don't wait until the last day at midnight and you're thinking, oh my God, there's this point I just remembered as I was sleeping. Let me add it now before I submit. No, 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 no. Normally, this system hangs because you, your cousin, your friend, the one who saw the video yesterday, and everybody else is applying on the same last day. So make sure you give yourself some head start and submit your application at least a day or two before the deadline. That way, you can rest, breathe, and then continue with the application for the universities if you are doing them one after the other. And if you are doing all of them at the same time, set an alarm in your phone or in your calendar to actually submit the application, because once the window closes, it opens up next year. The last tip I will say is that this application process is the beginning of a very long journey. So it's not, oh my God, they are paying for my flights, they are paying me an upkeep, and they're giving me a master's degree once I'm done. It's smooth life. It's not smooth life, I tell you. It's the beginning of a long process. So you need to have it in you to go for a very long journey. We applied last year. I started my application in August of 2022. I got to the US in September of 2020, to the UK in September of 2023, a whole year later. Someone got pregnant, gave birth, and the baby is almost a month old by the time I was landing in this country. So don't imagine that there is anything that is quick. It's the beginning of a very long process. Philomena has asked a question as we're wrapping up. You know those questions that normally come in when you're already done and you're wrapping up and they're asking questions. So we have two more and then we end. Is there a difference between a Chevening partner uni and a non-Chevening partner uni? Like if my fee for a Masters of Science is £39, will the scholarship cater for all of it? That's a pretty good question, Philomena. Oliver, share your thoughts.
Well, for Chevening, yes, there's Chevening partner universities and non-partners. So With Chevening, they'll pay whether it's partner or non-partner, they'll pay 100% of your fee, except for MBAs. Most of business administration where they are capped at, I don't know, is it 21,000 or 16,000? But for all other courses, regardless of the university, they'll pay 100%. So whether it's partner or non-partner, for partner, it's only that they normally have shared contribution. The university maybe may pay either 100% for your tuition fee or some percentage, which is commonly 20%. While Chevening cater for 80%. While for non-partner, now Chevening will pay 100%. But everything is covered, so don't be don't be discouraged or look the other way around. Don't be limited. Just for Chevening, they'll cater. Just go. That's why I'm insisting that. And this is also my last tip. Go and make the Chevening website your friend. It will enable you answer all these questions. So apply to any university so long as it's within the UK, so long as it's 1 year program, 12 months program. Chevening will cater for everything.
Yes. And it surprises people that Chevening will cater for everything. I shared about this on my TikTok account, and someone said it's a scam. Oh my God, Oliver, I almost gave them a proper thrashing. Then I remembered I am a, I'm a global leader right now. So I have to be careful about what I'm saying online. So Victor is asking if you want to work part-time job in UK, is it possible? It's possible, Victor, but on this scholarship, you can only work 20 hours a week. Let me tell you, if you work even 30 minutes extra, you'll go back home because your university will report you, your classmates will report you to immigration. They are legally obligated to report if you're working extra hours. So at the most it's 20 hours per week. So yes, it's possible to work, and there's opportunities for work that I will share in a different conversation. Here we are only discussing the Chevening application. Unfortunately, this was the last live that I had planned. If you need another live, add here in the topics what you want me to discuss, because I was only focusing on the Chevening application and we have answered those questions. Thank you so much, Oliver, for being here for this call and creating the time. We've been on this call for quite a minute, and I appreciate you for being here. Shuku Mary is saying thanks for giving her hope. You're most welcome, Mary. That's a very touching comment, and it's very encouraging to us that we've actually done this. Oliver, thank you for being here. Guys, thank you for being and joining this live. Lindiwe, thank you for wishing us the best with our postgraduate journey. Please follow this channel. I am now consistently sharing content about my experience as a master's student and as a Chevening scholar and as a student studying abroad, and very many other things that I have passions and interests in. Oliver, do you have social media accounts where you would want to plug?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn at Oliver Davis, on Instagram as well, and Facebook. Though Facebook, I'm not that active. So find me on Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Okay. For me, just do a quick Google and like and subscribe to this channel. And I will hopefully see you guys again very soon. Maybe with another host. You will tell me in the comments if you'd like us to do or cover other things. I'm not even sure what other things you would want us to cover, so you can clarify that for me. Oliver, thanks so much for being here. Guys, it's been amazing having this conversation with you. If you're watching this video as a replay, leave a thumbs up, ask your questions in the comments. I do come back and actually respond to the questions that are posted after the lives, so that then I can be able to add some value to a few people as well. In case you joined us after it had finished, leave your questions in the comments. I'll be able to create some time to actually respond to them. See you guys again soon. Soon.
Thank you, Sarah, for having me on board, and thanks everybody for joining us for this interactive session. All the best.
as well.